the internet of value at Ripple, we're thinking much bigger than just cross-border payments. It's kind of like Amazon with rare books in the early days, just this market happens to be a $10 trillion market.
We are at a historic turning point.
Said in the past that you are doing for money what email did for communication.
Moving the whole revolution forward. There's trillions of dollars parked around the world. XRP.
Is there a possibility that Ripple could take over Swift one day?
Welcome back, ladies and gentlemen, to an episode of 24 Hours Crypto. Let's get right into today's video. Oh my goodness. This video, I am so excited to record. Ladies and gentlemen, you can't miss a second of this. You are going to have a complete wow moment, okay? Why don't we start off the video with Aaron Sears, okay? Aaron Sears is a managing director at Ripple and AOL, okay, in the past, okay? This is where things get very, very interesting. So managing director at Ripple, he worked at Yahoo from 2006 to 2009. Guess what? Brad Garlinghouse worked at Yahoo from 2003 to 2008. So they know each other. It gets even better. Aaron went over to AOL. Guess what? Brad Garlinghouse was also at AOL. This group of individuals know the disruption that Ripple is about to do.
Joined Ripple actually 10 months ago, and I used to work for Swift for more than a decade. Now coming back to Ripple because I joined Ripple to disrupt.
And they're all in this together. And this video is gonna print you that bigger picture, folks. And take a listen to what Aaron Sears says, okay? Basically, this is, you could say, Brad's right hand. So take everything he says, very bullish, because they have a long history. They worked together in two previous companies. This is massive. Go ahead and smash that like button. This video is going to get absolutely massive, folks. So you can't miss a second of this. But just take a listen to what Aaron Sears says here, especially at the end. Everybody is coming. Big institutions are coming.
Earliest days, because we've been at this for quite a while, the company's been around a little over 10 years, we were bringing our customers on this crypto journey. And so earliest days, folks were quite conservative, hesitant to embrace the new technology, and kind of there was uncertainty on the regulatory front and so forth. In recent years, with regulatory developments, so in different jurisdictions, Brazil is a good one, Europe has been mentioned today, Japan, UAE, etc., of clear rules are being outlined, and so the uncertainty has been removed and the sort of foundation for innovation has been laid. With that, big players, Stripe, Amazon, Visa, MasterCard, everybody's come out with their crypto sort of strategies, and I think that will embolden, you know, wave after wave of the next sort of round of institutions to embrace. So specifically, people can come and talk to us, come talk to me about how we can help you with adoption. But I think more broadly, there's a little bit more regulatory certainty to come. It's much better even now versus even just the past few years. And with that comes sort of big name institutional adoption that I think will be encouraging for others that might have been on the fence.
And then we'll have big name institutional adoption coming that will encourage other people to join. Ladies and gentlemen, we are going to be rewarded very handsomely for our patience, for us being educated in this sector, okay? The time is coming. Now let's jump over to Nalash Dusain, okay? This is huge because we have Amazon working here. Nalash Dusain is currently global head of institutional payments at Amazon Web Services. And he's also an advisor at Ripple Works. So he's doing both. What is Ripple Works? Well, Ripple Works is with Chris Larsen, okay? The origins of Ripple Works' story are rooted in entrepreneurship. Chris Larsen and Doug Gallen, and Doug is still with Ripple Works, first met when they built their first company together in 1997, eLoan, one of the first ever online lending startups that increased access to affordable mortgages. In 2015, Chris and Doug co-founded RippleWorks to harness the power of entrepreneurship and innovation to tackle the world's toughest challenges. We started with a blank slate and an open mandate to freely understand and meet the needs of high-impact scaling and social ventures. Okay, what does Ripple have to do with this? This is a big company that have individuals from all, different big companies that are all in this together. For Nalash, why is Nalash global head of institutional payments at RippleWorks as an advisor? Because they're trying to make an inclusive framework that has everybody involved, okay? And AWS, this is the MoneyGram patent that was approved January 31st, 2023, okay, that Morgan Stanley is also utilizing, and Ripple is all over this, but I just want to show you for evidence. We have, if we zoom in right here, okay, we have ripple.aws.moneygram.com. Now, just connect these together. We have global head of institutional payments, Nalash, okay? And then we have RippleWorks. He's also an advisor there. You really can't make this stuff up, folks. This is so big that I'm going to really feel bad for these retail individuals coming in the future paying $50, $100 for XRP. But honestly, I don't think they're even going to buy it at those prices, okay? So now let's get into the most epic battle between Brad Garlinghouse and the co-founder of Ethereum, Joe Lubin. And there's just so much, how do I want to put this into words? There's so much clashing. From day one, we know JP Morgan, okay? We know Ethereum, we know ETHgate, that is all real. And we have Joe Lubin basically saying how they admire the SEC. So first, before we get into Brad Garlinghouse and Joe going at it, take a listen to where Joe is coming from, how he's pro-SEC. And then right after that, I'm going to play the video with Brad Garlinghouse and Joe going at it, just talking about, transparency. But Joe is a fraud. Ethereum is a fraud. I know it sounds very negative, but folks, you got to understand, Bitcoin and Ethereum, there is a lot of negativity in that sector. It's not clear. There's no clarity whatsoever, and it can't work as a payment system. We already know that. They've done tests. It will not work.
Wasn't true a year ago, but I think Bitcoin and Ethereum have failed to be a payment method.
But take a listen to Joe Lubin first talking about how great the SEC is and how they're basically piling up information on people. And this was before the Ripple case. This is before the SEC sued Ripple. Okay, take a listen to this. This is evil. I can't even speak because I am 100% convinced that Ethereum had a massive say in Ripple getting sued by the SEC. Massive. Take a listen to this piece of,
So we are big friends and fans of that organization. I think they're really understanding the space well. They are applying this thing called securities law to business in America and other places, as they have done for many decades successfully. They're identifying fraudulent projects. They're identifying obvious transgressions of securities law. But they haven't had a heavy touch, really. They've been gathering information. They've been taking some actions. They've been very clear that they understand there is this new construct, this protocol-based open platform.
So you think they get it?
Yeah, we believe they get it. They've introduced a new construct, decentralization.
And then now let's jump over to Brad Garlinghouse and Joe Lubin. You could just feel the intensity in the air. Like there's just so much. I hate you, Joe. You're an asshole. You're you know, you're a fraud. And I could just feel that in the air when these guys are talking. Just take a listen and let me know what you guys think in the comments down below.
So, but you do sell it regularly, right? Don't you sell it into the market?
Transparent about that. How much do you sell?
You know, when necessary. Sure.
And I think, look, I'm talking about transparency because I think for the whole industry to mature, we need to be transparent in the industry. Ripple, I think, has tried to lead by example with that. And I think there's other ecosystems that I have no idea what's going on in those ecosystems. And I don't think that's good for the whole industry. And so I think that's bad for Ripple, too. The only interjection I have here is I find it interesting that Ripple is attacked for being transparent. Because we are very proactive and we put actually the next XRP markets report, which we do quarterly, will come out sometime into this week. But because we share that information and we're attacked for it, yet other platforms don't share that information. And so they are insulated from those same critiques and criticisms. I think in the dictionary that's called hypocrisy. I'm not 100% sure, but it's close.
Is there any plan for greater transparency within Consensus in terms of how it deploys its Ethereum?
Internally, sure. And, you know, we're a private company and
Ripple's a private company too.
Absolutely. And transparency is important to us. But we also have to be strategic about information that we release. And
so with that being said, ladies and gentlemen, I do appreciate every single one of you guys. We are at very early stages of one of the most epic wealth transfers in human mankind history. And only the ones with brain cells are going to go through it and actually make money off of this, okay? Keep in mind, we're in modern day slavery. Wake up, folks, wake up. Back then, you know, when slavery was going on, they would just give you food and what? That's pretty much it. Right? And you would work for free. But now we work, we get money, we buy our food, but it's just modern day slavery at a very lavish style. They give us freedom now, right? So we wake up, do the same thing every day, rinse and repeat. We get our little paychecks every 2 weeks. We get happy because we have some money in our accounts. We go buy food, we pay our debts, we pay taxes, and guess what? We're back to where we started. They don't want people to have financial freedom. This crypto sector is $1 trillion, give or take just under. This crypto sector is also going to go over $100 trillion. This is just like the stock market when they launched back in the 1700s. Okay? We have so much growth coming. Educate yourself. Stop crying about the price of XRP. If you understand what you're holding, you have nothing to worry about. The longer it takes, the better. I've always said that. We're basically putting in a new infrastructure that needs stability, that needs consistency, that needs track record. Ripple has built a 10-year track record with institutions, with testings, with G20, with the IMF, with the World Bank. It's all there. And then there will be a moment where people are going to be kicking themselves because they missed XRP under $1. They're going to see it at $10. They're going to see it at $20. They're going to see it at $30, $40, $50. And that's 100 trillion billion % happening, ladies and gentlemen. I do appreciate every single one of you guys. Math is math. When you got demand and a supply of just 100 billion, we know it's less than that. That's when things are going to get absolutely crazy. With that being said, we will be back with another video.
We started building RippleNet with the thesis that crypto liquidity would eventually be able to support robust global payments, large payments. RippleNet was designed so that customers seeing the benefits of our fiat-based network could flip the switch to ODL once the market was mature enough. And this is exactly what's happening. Flip the switch. I think what we're building has, it's solving a real problem. And I think all of the tokens, my advice to anybody would be, understand the utility. If there's real utility and there's real value being delivered to a real customer, there will be value in the token.